All right, welcome to the TSN talk show. I'm here with two GMs. I'm here with Canucks GM and Flames GM.
Hey,
We're just
how's it going?
talk some trades that happened over the weekend, and discuss and give our opinions on them. So, first trade was to Colorado, Rick Nash, and to the Columbus Blue Jackets, Gabriel Landeskog, 2013 first and a 2012 second. So, guys, what's your opinion on that trade?
I think, I don't know, I can't really say anybody won it because both teams are trying to do something different here, right? I think it's a win for Columbus because they're trying to rebuild. I think it's a win for Colorado because they're trying to go for the playoffs.
What about you, Flames?
I also agree with that. I think they both win because one team gets a great solid forward in Rick Nash, and then the other team gets a solid forward, up-and-coming prospect in Landeskog and a couple picks.
Yeah, I mean, I see Landeskog developing into a player like Rick Nash. I mean, not as good as him, but in a player like him.
I think he could be better, actually. You give him a few years.
Yeah, I mean, they have the same type of build, like power forward, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, another big trade from the weekend was to Toronto, Mark Giordano, and to Pittsburgh, John Michael Lyles. So, guys?
I almost think that was pretty much just, they're so much the same of a player, right? Like Lyles and Giordano have such the same play type. You know, it's hard to say who won that trade, really.
Yeah, it was a pretty equal trade. I think Giordano's got a couple more years on Lyles, but depends on which ways they're trying to go. If one's trying to make a playoff push or one's just trying to rebuild.
Well, I mean, the thing with Lyles, he's a free agent after this season's done, and Giordano is still signed for 4 more years. So it will possibly clear some cap space.
Yeah, exactly. The cap's going to help that team out for sure.
Yeah, make a big free agent signing, possibly.
Yeah.
So Vancouver, you made a trade with Winnipeg, to Winnipeg Chris Higgins, and a 2013 first, and to Vancouver Derek Roy. So what was the process that went through that trade?
Well, what I was thinking at the time was I wanted to pick up some cap gear, see, because I was below the cap, so Derek Roy gave me an extra $2 million. So, and also too, that gave me a solid center for if I wanted to use him next year, or again, I could use him to trade to pick up more picks or prospects, right?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got the better player in the deal with Derek Roy. And, I mean, you have a lot of first-round picks, I believe. So.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And then next, you guys made a deal together. To Vancouver, James Reimer, Michael Backlund, 2012 first. And to Calgary, Derek Roy and Corey Schneider. So what happened, guys?
Well, in our division, since our division is really lacking on points, I was only 2 points out of a playoff spot. I was gonna rebuild, but then I was only 2 points out of a guaranteed playoff spot, so I decided I might as well start making a push. So I tried to get a solid center in Derek Roy and a decent backup in Corey Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this trade worked for me too because I also pick up a young prospect center, Mikhail Backlund, who's obviously going to be great in a year or two, and another first round pick to add to the collection, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't keep on adding first round picks. And Calgary, you know what I mean? It's just about getting into the playoffs. I mean, look at teams in years past. Philly got in on the last day and they made the finals. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Calgary, you made a deal with Pittsburgh, so you got Zach Parise, Pascal Dupuis, and Mike Matau. And Pittsburgh got Jay Bomeister, David Moss, Mark Scheifele, 2012 second, and a 2013 first. So what happened there?
Yeah, it was kind of the same with mine in Vancouver's trade. I was just trying to get a solid forward, help me with my playoff push, and now having Parise and Roy on the first line together, I think that's going to help my team. And adding Dupuis and Mateo was just kind of sweetening the deal a bit for both sides.
Yeah.
I definitely do think, though, that Pittsburgh did get a little too much in this trade, getting a first round, a second round, and Scheifele. I do agree that Parise is a good player and he is worth a lot, but, you know, like Dupuis and Matau, they're not really highly prospected players. They're old. You know, their overalls aren't very high, so I think even, like, he could have taken Moss out of this trade and it would have been fair, right?
Yeah, and I mean, he does get rid of I guess, sort of a bad contract with Jay Bouwmeester. But I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. He gets rid of the bad contract.
Yeah, as you were saying on your last TSN radio, is that I was in bad because my top 4 defensemen were just all like 24 million.
Yeah, you're about at like 22 million or something like that. So to cut that down, that's huge.
And at the time,
What's nice too is with Parise, he's only got 1 year left. So at the end of the year, depending on if he wants to keep him or not, he'll have that $6 million cap to sign whoever he wants.
Yeah, even get a trade at the draft.
Yeah, at the time, I just really wanted to get a solid forward. Parise, Penguins wanted a couple draft picks. So.
No, yeah, I'm looking at your team right now, and I don't see why you can't make a good playoff run. You got a solid top 6, and you got a solid top 4 on D, and you got a goalie. Like I don't know why you can't make a big playoff run.
Not exactly.
So just some other news. Anze Kopitar, apparently he's been on the trading block, and LA is looking to trade him. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, LA seems to be in a good spot for the playoffs right now, so I don't know why they would trade their top player, but maybe to bring in a different look, shake it up a little more.
Yeah, and I believe they're in first place in the league, but it really depends on how well he's doing this year and if they get someone significant in return for him.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's been a lot of trades today between San Jose and Columbus, and one of them was to San Jose, Boone Jenner and Antoine Vermette, and to Columbus, Scotty Upshall, Colin Blackwell, 2013 first and a 2012 third.
That's not too bad of a trade.
Yeah, I think Boone Jenner is going to become a really solid player in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Columbus gets the first round pick too, so it kind of evens out with getting rid of Boone Jenner.
Well, yeah, Columbus is trying to rebuild too, right?
Yeah.
So that helps them out for sure.
No, definitely helps them out.
I do think it is a very solid trade for both teams. It's very even.
So while you guys are on here, let's get your opinion on some things. So right now, who do you guys think is gonna win the cup?
Let me take a look at the standings here. I've kind of had my knack all year about Pittsburgh. They've kind of been lacking actually in the standings, believe it or not, with all the amazing players they have on their team. But I think they're going to pull through in the end and win it.
Yeah, right now standings are Rangers, Blackhawks, Kings, Wings, and Leafs. Top 5.
Oh, actually, the Rangers too. They're one team who hasn't traded very much at all. And
yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, their GM doesn't come on a lot.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with that. As he hasn't replied to the check either yet. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be cool to get the first place team.
Yeah, no shit, they want to do that.
Leafs have been winning like 10 in a row or something like that.
Yeah. I saw
they're
that
always,
back
they're
to
like they're like 1 point behind first place in the league.
yeah, back-to-back Sims. They've been undefeated.
And then the Penguins, if they have the Sedins on the second line, they're a good team.
Yeah, when you put Sedins on the second line. And for the draft, I mean, you guys, Calgary, you're 6th last, Vancouver, you're last, but who do you guys think's going to go first overall? And if you get that first overall pick, who do you think you're going to take?
Well, it is a toss-up between 2 people. I know there's huge hype with Nail Yakupov, but there's also Philip Forsberg, who's been interesting me over the last few days here. But I'm going to leave that to be a surprise for you guys because I do have quite a few top 10 picks so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me being a Canadian fan, the World Juniors and Yakupov destroying us, I definitely do not want to take him.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting game.
Well, Philip Forsberg did do really well in that World Juniors as well, so also.
So right now, looking at the top 5 in just looking at the top 5 in points and top 5 in goals for players. These are the top 5 right here. Brad Richards, Alexander Ovechkin, Nick Backstrom, Joe Thornton, Sidney Crosby. Those are the top 5 in points. Who do you guys think's gonna get the most? Who do you think's gonna win the trophy for most points?
I think Brad Richards is going to take it because the Rangers are doing so well and he's been consistent all year.
You know, I at first at the beginning of the year was going to say Ovechkin, but he did get traded to Boston, so I don't think he's going to pull through and win the trophy this year.
Yeah,
I'm going to agree with Flames on this one and say Richards takes it.
Yeah, they have a pretty defensive system in Boston. I mean, Ovechkin, he's leading in goals, but getting assists, that helps the point total.
Yeah, I might give him the lead for the Rocket Richard. He definitely has a 4-goal lead there, so we'll see what happens.
Right now, as of right now, who do you guys think was the most surprising team this year?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
I'd say the Kings actually so far. Being in first place, I didn't think they'd be in first place at this point in the season.
Is that just in first, right? Oh, it is the Kings, too, eh?
Yeah.
The team I think is the most surprising, actually, is the Montreal Canadiens. Due to the fact that at the beginning of the year, they did not have a lot of depth, and they made some good trades to build some depth in their team, and they're now in the top 6 teams in the league. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think they did not have a lot of depth. They added a lot of players and got them into the top.
Definitely been a lot of trades.
So, what team do you think's been the biggest disappointment?
I think that one's actually a very easy one. We'll see. You know, like the Canucks, who were supposed to be in the playoff run here, is now last place in the league by 8 points. So
Well, that's.
I've gotten a lot of shit for that, so I think definitely the Canucks.
Well, you trade away a lot of your team, but I mean, out of the teams that didn't really trade away and just, you know what I mean, busted. Like they were trying to make a playoff run and they just didn't end up doing it.
Philadelphia for sure.
Oh yeah.
They didn't make a lot of trades, right? And they're second last right now. I totally expected them to be in the playoffs.
I think they actually made trading away their prospects to get veteran guys. I think that
could have been a mistake of theirs, right?
That backfired on them.
Let's just hope.
But I don't know. It's weird. They got the depth on the team. I'm just surprised it's not pulling through for them.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at their team right now, and they have a really good team. I mean, maybe they're lacking some scoring on the wing, but up the middle, they have 3 guys over 70.
Yeah, Giroux, Briere, Applicator, and then up and coming Couturier. That's a solid center lineup right there.
Van Riemsdyk, Kane, and Voracek on the wing. They're all 22 and all over 70.
Yeah, exactly. And they did shake up the goaltending. They got Jimmy Howard now, which is pretty good. That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bobrovsky's an up-and-comer for sure, but maybe it's their defense. You look at their defense; they really don't have a strong defense. Matt Carl and Mazzaros, right?
Yeah, I mean, those aren't top 2 guys, right? I mean, those are.
No, maybe Mazzaros.
Yeah.
You look at the rest, right? They don't got enough depth in their defense.
I'm looking at their stats right now, and it shows that they have 274 goals against, and that's I think that's top in the league, so that might be why.
Yeah. That's definitely a reason.
They're only ahead of Vancouver.
And Vancouver blew up the team.
Yeah.
You know, I traded a couple players, and I was trying to just change the look a bit, and then I felt with Crosby and Parise and stuff, my team was still doing crappy. So what I did is I was just like, well, you know what? I'm gonna make a push to get to the bottom and rebuild from there for next year. So I got a bunch of picks. I got some good specs. So we'll see what happens for the year to come.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're out of time. Thanks for joining us this week. If you want to be on next week's show, just send a PM. That's to everyone and you guys. Really good show, and see you next week.
Thanks, Rob.